私も肉食獣相手は初めてだから。
Beastars is so #deep. And as much as I would like to present the animation, the soundtrack, or even the process that brought us this unique expression of our reality through beautiful anthropomorphized animated characters, I'm not gonna. Those topics would only distract you from what's really going on in the world today amongst the psyche of human society, and how these animals personify common unspoken social norms in a natural way through natural ways. I'll try not to spoil it, only point out the beautiful details.
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
The Beastars anime is adapted from the ongoing manga of the same name. It was created, written, and illustrated by Paru Itagaki, rumored daughter of Keisuke Itagaki, creator of Grappler Baki. The anime series was slated for a second season before the first 12 episodes were even properly introduced to a global Netflix audience in March of 2020, with a live stage play announced at the end of 2019. Itagaki does an amazing job of reflecting our intricate socio-political Homo sapien structure through a splendid assortment of animal species. Carnivore and herbivore coexist in a society that deals with stereotyping, bigotry, and bias, just like our own reality. Beastars takes place in a post-Animal Farm world morally ruled by the herbivora. As a culture of life, consuming meat is criminalized, forcing the carnivore to be vegetarian. The food provisions come through agricultural means, as well as industrialization of things like unfertilized eggs, which the chickens still produce, a fact we learned through the hen, legum, and surely milk from cows, goats, and almonds. The bathrooms are segregated by animal family, and birds who are able need to get a flying license once they come of age in order to take to the skies. Predator and prey are how the drama play, as carnivora, with their God-given tools for flesh tearing and rending, teeth and claws have no daily place on the surface of this attempt at zootopia. Their feral strength and instinct for blood repressed. The beast, domesticated by beasts. Though consuming meat is outlawed and the carnivora commonly abide by said rule, prejudices keep many herbivores of all sizes living in fear of their fellow carnivore, even those they may be in many ways superior to. What they hold above them is class, as this is an herbivorous culture, but denying an entire order's natural way of being causes some to get it by other means, leading to an underground slaughter slave trade feeding a black market for meat and blood as drugs, which may not have been so taboo in earlier times of history of this world, much like our own reality. Legoshi, our Grey Wolf Animal World main player named after the legendary actor Bela Lugosi, who played Dracula in our dimension in the 1930s, goes through some of the greatest trials as a naturally docile teenage pup coming into adulthood, who clearly really just wants to be good, despite a couple of bloodlusty slip-ups. Like wolves, Legoshi is shy, but a perfectly capable hunter and enraged combatant. As a large breed canine, he's faithful to a fault, and is found to be more vicious when it comes to protecting others for whom he cares than he is protecting himself, a quality many may even recognize as their own. Legoshi is very self-aware and conscious, soft-spoken, standing tall but often hunched over to make himself less imposing, approaching every animal as an equal, with kindness, herbivore and carnivore alike, large and small, gentle to even the tiniest bug. He is empathetic to the things he is perceived to be superior to, the kind of meat that shall inherit the earth. He sincerely cares. His track record was great. For 18 years, he stayed barely hidden in the wings of the drama club, shining light on those for which he held admiration. But then, that apex level puberty started kicking in, and then there was Haru. This is Haru. Oh, okay, wrong shot. Place this thing. Bam. This is Haru, an enticing Netherland dwarf rabbit from the family Leporidae, order Lagomorpha. She, like any other well-written character, has her own insecurities that come with her species. Like most of us, she just wants to be seen and accepted for who she is. A victim of gossip amongst the whispers of her peers, to jealous hoes talking trash behind her back, she's considered a slut, a bitch, a thought. Miss Steal Your Man, like every other actor in life, is judged by what she is believed to be, demanding she lives by imposed moral ideals, regardless of her life experiences, relative reality, and desires. She is constantly subjected to bullying, abused physically and emotionally because everyone minds her business while she minds her own. Haru's empowerment is the perfect opposite to Legoshi. She doesn't shy away from who she is. She isn't ashamed, nor does she try to hide behind the image of standards. Haru finds power in her irresistible surrender. She stands up to the things she's afraid of. Though she's diminutive in size and strength, she's massive in willpower and conviction. Feisty prey, she'll clap back verbally, but in the face of true danger, flight is the unbeatable instinct. But what is a hairy situation when fear is your kink? Haru Itagaki has been quoted saying, "I feel that Haru is a character that has many traits that are akin to women, good and bad. But that isn't where her character truly shines. Her true defining trait is that she's always willing to be true to herself. Many of the characters are portrayed living life with some kind of mask, but only Haru chooses to live life nonchalantly for her own desires."
Tiny horse!
Throughout the whole Cherryton boarding school, we find ourselves mostly hanging out with the theater nerds. It's alongside the drama club where we come in, with tragedy. One of the key herbivore actor members gets attacked and killed by a mysterious carnivore, allowing us to immediately see the underlying divide between the already socially segregated herbs and carns, the orders at odds in defensive fear reaction. Through animal types, they continue to represent different aspects of the human being. Like all of us, they have insecurities they don't speak about. Yet they peer in a mirror every day living with who they are as nature intended. The things they were born with that makes them unique, silently admired by others. Most, if not all, of the thespian bunch are socially queer, if you will. Outcasts with secrets they can never tell anyone, dodgy past or weird home lives. They find solitude in the theater, in the play as characters on stage or contributing to the setting from the shadows. The drama club is led by Lewis, our tertiary prime character, heir to a throne with a great crown of antlers atop his head, the majestic king of the forest who refuses to lay down his prey. Lewis is a revered herbivore alpha, a prime image of what it means to be a staple in a society where bean and vegetable consuming fangirls swoon over grass eating dudes with dull teeth, though he may not see himself as such. Lewis tends to overcompensate. Maybe he does so because he's smaller than he should be. Maybe he puts up a strong front because deep down, he's terrified. How does one handle the responsibility of being the Beastar when you have a past you could never reveal to those that adore you? Can you imagine the challenge of upholding the image of the vicious mask you wear as a champion? And so Lewis stands regal in the light, strong, stubborn, and coping. And then there's Domu. I just needed a Domu moment. He's so beautiful. I'm not even into peacocks. Wow. Gorgeous. Beastars serves as a beautiful reflection of our complicated social structure. If you're paying attention, it stands as an important commentary presenting doors to conversation in relation to our collective evolution, gateways necessary as we continue to expand our connections in this internet age, an age where we seem to be attempting to eradicate the discriminations of our forefathers. In the Beastars space exists far too common oppressed archetypal personalities of our own world. While much of the allegorical foundation dances around the masculine and feminine, the whole piece transcends language, culture, and race, and even at moments gender by moving beyond our species. Utilizing animals as metaphors with which we can empathize, we're able to see beyond our own human hang-ups on imposed cultural expectations. Lessons in sexism, racism, classism, they're all here, and quite compounded. From the ground, Beastars walks you a mile through an assortment of character shoes, so you see them for who they are, not for who you may have originally judged them to be. Every character in a series has some sort of secret they can't express, whether it's to themselves or to others. Each beast wears their insecurities as they push through their daily hustle, and each of them handles it in their own way. What frees each of them over time is them accepting themselves for who they truly are, or they are seen and embraced for who they are, most often by the most unlikely source. This means freedom in life and sometimes freedom in death. If you watch Beastars or read the manga and you enjoy it, but somehow you find you're still misogynistic, misandrist, chauvinist, bigot, or just overall intolerant, you may have missed a point. It's likely there's something you dislike and can't admit to yourself, an unconscious frustration with inferiority you exercise on others of a particular type, or as a whole. Don't take it personal. Every day, people around the world shrink themselves so they can fit into a communal box of social acceptance or blow themselves up to make an impact. These adopted statures act as masks, and behind them hide our precious feelings and protected truths. Ultimately, we all want to be loved for who we are. Hell is the space in which we live in denial of ourselves. Learn to see and accept the other, see the self, and be accepted. Even we as humans, as self-defining as we are still haunted by a couple 100,000 years of completely natural primal instinct. We are but a blip in nature's animal kingdom, a moment of conscious creation expressing ourselves through art, slowly allowing us to peel away the stigma of what it means to be diverse as individuals amongst the supernatural humanity. And yes, the rabbit hole of humanity is far more complex than I could ever cover in this essay. But you have to admit, dang, Beastars is so #deep.